Good morning, students. In today's lecture, I will explain the new topic in Module 1, which is known as Say's Law of Market. The Say's Law of Market provided the basic condition on which macroeconomic framework of classical theory is based. The fundamental conclusion of classical economists is that the economy will achieve its full employment automatically by the free flow of market forces without state intervention. One of the few explicit macroeconomic propositions of classical theory was Say's law of market. It was named after J.B. Say, the French economist who stated the law in a systematic form in 1803. Say's law states that supply creates its own demand. This is the Say's law of market. This means that the production of goods and services will generate enough income and expenditures to demand whatever is produced. There will be no deficiency of demand. In such a situation, there cannot be general overproduction or unemployment on account of excess supply of goods over demand. Say's law is found to be valid in both barter economy and money economy. So this is known as Say's law of market. And what is the statement of the Say's law of market? That is, supply creates its own demand. These are the assumptions related with the Say's law of market. First assumption is perfectly competitive economy. Second, prices are flexible. Third, money is medium of exchange. Fourth assumption is there is no hoardings. That means all money income is spent. Fifth one is state is neutral. That is, state does not interfere. Sixth, as the volume of goods goes on increasing, the size of the market will go on extending. Extending, that means enlarging, expanding. Seventh one is the long period. This Say's law of market is apply in long period of time. Eighth one is production according to consumer preferences. So these are the assumptions of Say's law of market. Now, this is the explanation of Say's law of market. Now, there are two economy, barter economy and money economy. So first, I will explain what is barter economy. Say's law in a barter economy. In a barter economy, people produce goods either to consume them by themselves or to exchange them for the products of others. In a barter economy process, the aggregate demand for goods equals the aggregate supply of goods. In such a state, there cannot be general overproduction because supply of goods will not exceed demand as a whole. If there was shortages or surpluses of certain goods, they were considered to be a temporary phenomenon. They could be overcome by shifting resources from the production of surplus goods to the production of goods which are in great demand. In this way, the barter economy ensures that all goods are either consumed or exchanged at some positive price. Thus, in a barter economy, one can supply a commodity or service to the market only as a demand for another commodity or service. Second one is the Say's law in a money economy. The classical economists also believed that Say's law was equally valid in a money economy. The existence of money does not change the basic law. The introduction of money does not make any difference because money is used only as a medium of exchange. According to classical economists, money is neutral and does not influence the real process of production and distribution. So this Say's law in the money economy is explained with two diagrams. In this diagram, we can see the two sectors are there, household sector and firm sector. When firms obtain various inputs to be used in production, they pay for them in money in the form of wages, rent, interest, and profit, which constitute the income of the households. The households spend their income on the goods and services produced by the firms. There is a circular flow of money from firms to household and from households to firms. This shows that in the absence of saving and hoarding of money, all income received will be spent on consumption goods. In this way, supply creates its own demand. Even if households do not spend all their income on consumption, that is, if they save a part of their income, the circular flow of income could still be maintained if saving equals investment. And this is shown with the second diagram, where income received by the households is spent on consumption and investment. Clear? So these are the two diagrams which are related with the Say's law of market. Now this is the implication of Say's law. First one is there is automatic adjustment in the economy and therefore supply always equal to demand. Second, general unemployment and overproduction are impossible. Third, if unemployed resources are available, they can be used to produce more output. The flexibility of interest rate brings about equality between saving and investment. Therefore, there will not be any deficiency of aggregate demand. And fifth one is the money is used only as a medium of exchange to facilitate transactions. So all these are the implications of Say's law. So students, you have to explain the Say's law of market with this two diagram. Clear? That is Say's law in a barter economy and Say's law in a money economy consist of these two diagrams. Clear? So this is called Say's law of market. So in next lecture, I will start with new topic. Till then, stay safe, stay home and thank you.